Hi guys, it's Monday afternoon. Okay, start over. Just swap that one. Why'd you go? Hi guys, it's Monday afternoon. Actually, it's about, oh my goodness, it's 5:30. And I was starting to make us a potato soup for tonight. And then I thought, well, why not just video it? Because it's such a simple recipe, but it's really, really good. A couple of our kids have had it and they loved it. So I just thought I would show it to y'all because it is so simple. I'm making it for 2 people, but if you want to make it for 4 or 6, you just double the recipe. It's very easy. I make the, I thicken it and I make the broth with a packet of the Pioneer Country gravy mix.
Okay.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
All right. And anyway, and so I'm going to cut up about 2 stalks of celery. I've cleaned pretty much all of this and got it ready to cut up, but it just has celery and carrots and onions and 4 potatoes. And I honestly, for soups, I love to use the part of the celery that still has some of the green leaf in it. I'll show you what I mean. It just gives it a little bit more flavor than just using your celery. See the leaves on that? I used to throw all that away when I was a young little bride and mom. I didn't know that you could use that. But anyway, I love to use it now. And it does add a little bit more flavor to it. So I'm cutting this up. I have to tell y'all, what did we make the video of last week that we messed up? Actually, I messed up and I forgot to put the phone on airplane mode, and so the phone rang, and then it never wouldn't let us record it or
record it, yeah.
Record it anyway. And so I know that y'all liked Randy being on here with me, so why don't you turn it to you, and so you can tell them hi, honey, because they like you better than they like me on here. Are you saying hi to them?
I did.
Looks like you're taking a picture of me. With that.
Hi.
Well, honey, you have the. How did you get the flashlight on? It's got the flashlight on. It's like really bright.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I'm just going to slice a couple of carrots in here. I have had more fun this week. Actually, it was last week. I forgot, not over the weekend, but last week I was watching the Brenda Gant videos that I've been telling y'all about. I hope y'all have started watching her. She is just, actually, everything I've made of hers has been awesome. I love it. And I watched her make her dressing last week, and then today I watched Paula Deen make her dressing. I did make Brenda, was that what we were making? No, that wasn't it. I don't know what we were making. I know, it was a cake. I forgot what kind, maybe pistachio cake?
No.
I don't know. But anyway.
Something.
So it was something. We'll do it again and videotape it. But I have to tell y'all, I love Brenda Gant's way of doing dressing. I came right in the kitchen and I made it. The only thing different I did than she didn't add any flavoring like poultry seasoning or sage, and I did. I added a bunch of poultry seasoning, and I do like sage, so I added that to it. But you have to go on her video, Brenda Gant, and watch her make her dressing. It was really, really good. So I just ended up watching Paula Deen make hers that her grandma Paul, I think she calls her, used to make. You showing that, honey?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot like Brenda Gant's, but it had a little more seasoning in it than Brenda's. And so now I kind of have to make Paula's too, just to see the difference in it. But I've already got 2 pans made in the freezer ready to be baked for Thanksgiving. And we were supposed to go to Phoenix and see the kids out there. And because of certain things with appointments, Randy's having cataract surgery like a couple of days after we were home. And because of all the COVID testing that you have to do now before you have any of that stuff, we found out we can't go to Phoenix because there's not enough time for him to have the testing, then quarantine before the surgery on Tuesday morning. So we're going to be here for for Thanksgiving. So luckily we have 2 pans of dressing in the freezer if we want to use that. But okay, and I'm doing this was a huge onion, and so I'm doing about a quarter of it. It was actually it was a sweet Vidalia, or the label said it was a sweet Vidalia onion. I don't know, hopefully it is. But just cutting these up, and it'll take about probably 30 minutes to cook these all together. I don't pay attention to the shape because since it's in soup, it just doesn't really matter, and they all blend together. I have to say, I went to eat with a friend last Friday, and I never get potato soup when I'm out. I don't know why. Just usually the potato soups you buy, they always have great big chunks of potato in them, and I don't really like that. But the one we got, oh my goodness, it was really, really good. I cut my potatoes pretty small because I like when they're tender to stir it enough to where some of them mash up in the soup, and that way you don't get all the big chunks of potato. You getting that, babe?
Good.
Okay, this is 4 medium-sized potatoes. I do add a little bit of the powdered chicken broth to the cooking water.
Little bourbon.
Little bird. Yeah. I used to have to lie to Randy every time I used chicken, anything like broth and casseroles or soup. I'd always tell him I would use vegetable because he always said he didn't like chicken broth. I can't believe I'm telling you this because now you'll know that I like it. But I always told him I used vegetable broth, but I really did use chicken broth because I like the flavor better.
I don't record for you.
Do what?
I don't record you anymore. Record this.
Don't you dare show my rear end. Anyway, but yeah, sometimes I would use vegetable broth, knowing when he was going to walk in the kitchen, I would get the vegetable broth out so he would think I was using it and everything, but I really did use chicken broth more than I did the vegetable broth. I'm just not real fond of the veggie broth flavoring in soups for some reason, but now you know the secret, honey.
Butter.
Butter, yeah. Well, both Paula and Brenda, of course, talked about you have to have butter in your dressing, which I've always done that. I've always sauteed celery and onion in butter, but Paula did something I have never seen before, and I have to try it now. Her grandma, when she would make it, I think I'm going to sneeze, she would add a sleeve of just saltine crackers to the bread and to the cornbread that she had made. I've never ever heard of that, and she said it just gives it such a kind of a rich flavor from all the sleeve of saltine. So I am going to have to try it now. Anyway, it sounded so different, but that's the cornbread dressing I ate for years. So
I'm sure it's no calorie, right?
well, she kept adding butter, yeah, but this will have a little bit buttered in it too. We had fried chicken yesterday for lunch, and I ate half of mine, so I brought the rest home, and he had it for lunch, and I went with my sister-in-law to lunch today, and we shared a cauliflower crust pizza that had vegetables all over it. If y'all have a Nukes where you live, that cauliflower pizza or cauliflower crust pizza is so good. It's just delicious. So, okay, you want to show that, honey?
Sure.
Okay, so that's your carrots, your celery, your onions, and your and potatoes. I'm just going to add water to cover it.
Vegetable broth, huh?
Okay, come over here. And this will cook probably for about 30 minutes. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder and a little bit of pepper. And you don't have to get real close because that way they can see all my sprinkles, honey. Just step back just a little bit. Anyway, I'll do garlic powder and a little bit of pepper. And then when that gets done, we'll come back and I'll show y'all about adding the cheese and the country gravy mix. And then it's done and you've got an easy supper. Be back in a little while. Okay, we're back. We've cooked the potatoes and the carrots and the onions and the celery. You can see a lot of the potatoes have broken up into smaller chunks. That's exactly what I wanted. So now we're going to make the cream gravy. I went ahead and put a half a cup of water. This packet always says to mix it in about a half a cup of water before adding it. So I got a half a cup of water in there. And if you were just making gravy, you would then add this little half a cup of with the mixture into a cup and a half of boiling water. But our potatoes and carrots.
But what?
Well, huh?
But what?
The carrots and potatoes are already boiling, so I'm going to add this and make it. I'm not going to do the whole 2 cups. I'm going to do about a cup and, what is that? It's not quite a cup and 3/4. This gives it a creamy base. And also will thicken your soup just a little bit. Has a little bit of pepper in it, so you don't want to add a whole lot of pepper to your soup because the country gravy mix has it already in there.
Looks very good.
And I'm going to add about
All butter.
2 tablespoons of butter.
Tomatoes.
And we like a little bit of cheese in it, so I'm adding sharp cheddar, probably about, this is about, probably about a cup I'll add. This package is 2 cups, and I had taken some out previously, so that's about a cup of cheese, I think. And you just stir it in there.
I'm hungry.
It really is it's so easy to make this potato soup, and it has, just has a lot of flavor to it because of the cream gravy mix that you add.
Looks very good.
I did, after we turned the video off a while ago, I sprinkled in a little bit of the parsley flakes. I had forgot that when we had it on before, but there's your potato soup. It's ready to go. You can serve it with cornbread. We serve it with crackers because it's a heavier soup. We're fine with crackers, and that way we still have room to have dessert tonight, right?
Right.
Every time we try not to eat dessert, I won't bake during the day, and then we're sitting there at night, and what are we doing at night, honey? What are we watching?
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, he told me I had to hurry up and finish this video because Wheel of Fortune was coming on a while ago.
It's Bay.
So anyway, every time I don't make dessert, thinking, well, okay, we can go a night or 2 without dessert, we sit there at about 7:30. He starts looking at me and he goes, well, what's for dessert tonight? And then I feel really bad that I didn't make anything. Plus, I'm also wanting dessert, so I usually end up coming in here and we'll.
She makes every day.
I do make cupcakes or layer. Last night, I have to tell y'all, I started watching a video. You could tell we're bored. We've been watching a lot of videos lately. Anyway, on cake pops. And so I thought, I'm going to try to make cake pops. I tried years ago, hated it, told Randy if I ever even brought up the subject just to shoot me. But I thought after watching the video, it looked so easy, I wanted to try it again. So I got a French vanilla cake mix, and I remembered that the reason I didn't like the ones I made years ago was because I used canned frosting, which that's what it calls for, is canned frosting. But I don't like canned frosting. I don't like the way it tastes. So the new video that I watched, she made her own frosting and used that in the cake pops. So I thought, well, heck, if I do that, I'll like them. So yesterday, Randy went to wash both cars, and I thought, well, I'll make some cake pops. So I made the 2-layer French vanilla cake mix, and I made my own buttercream frosting. And I crumbled up one of the layers. I thought I'll first start with 1 layer just to see how it goes. So I crumbled up 1 layer and I added a couple of scoops of the frosting, and so far so good. It was very good. It tasted yummy. And so I thought, well, what am I going to dip them in? I don't want to dip them in chocolate, and that's all I had. But I did have those little candy melts, so I melted the candy melts, and I froze the cake balls for about 20 minutes, just like it said. Well, I have to tell y'all, it took me about 1 hour and 45 minutes to make 6 cake balls, because it's not real easy dipping the little balls in the frosting, and it says, oh, just stick it in a glass of rice to, on the stick to keep it upright to where it's all even. Well, I tried that, and it didn't work. Maybe I made the balls too big. I don't know. But anyway, when he came home, I told him, he said, "That's all you got made?" And I said, "Yeah," and that took me like an hour and a half. So I said, "Honey, just shoot me if I ever say I want to make cake pops again." He said, "Well, that's what you said years ago." But I said, "No, I really mean it this time. I'm not making those again." So I'll just buy the good one, a little birthday flavored one at Starbucks when I get in the mood for a cake pop, and that's it. Okay, our potato soup is totally finished. We'll have it tonight with some crackers and oh, I have to tell y'all something. I forgot about this. Peggy Stodola is a friend of mine, and she had given me this recipe the other day after I heard from another friend, Cora, how good these little muffins that Peggy had brought to her. So I texted Peggy and I said, what is Cora talking about, these little chocolate muffins? She said, they're called antique tea muffins. And she said, I'll send you the recipe. So she sent me the recipe. I will videotape when I make these again this week because they're like a little brownie bites. You put them in the mini muffin tin. It makes 36 of them. And the inside is the most gooey. It's almost like a little mini molten cake. They're just fudgy and they're delicious. So I want y'all to have this recipe and see how easy it is. That you don't even use a mixer. You just do it all by hand. But anyway, so... we'll do that in the next video. But anyway,
Okay.
Have a great night. Remember Sassy Southern YouTube. Have a butterful night, and we will see you on Facebook or YouTube. Bye.